Here from Canada Abroad, and thanks so much for tuning in. Now, it's been obviously quite a while since I have posted anything, and it's just because I've been sick, honestly, on and off for the last several months, so it's been a bit of a struggle. As you can probably hear, I'm still a little bit sick and recovering, but I am now back and I will be posting videos again. Now, there's been a lot of changes and public policies that have come in since January 2023. So I'm going to be doing catch up and doing some videos on those. But today what I'm focusing on is the open work permits for family members of workers, because I've seen a lot of people interpreting it incorrectly and assuming that, if your spouse has a work permit, automatically you and your dependent children are entitled to get one now as well. So the first thing we're going to look at is the requirements of the main applicant, so the work permit holder, and the criteria that they need to meet to ensure that their spouse and dependent children can actually then apply for work permits. And we're focusing just on the low skilled positions. So this is going to be tier levels 4 and 5, because 0, 1, 2, and 3 are the high skilled. So today we're just focusing on the low skilled individuals. So for the main applicant, they have to have a valid work permit. So this can either be employer specific or it can be open, but if it's open, as long as it's not under the spousal open work permit. If they're on an authorization to work without a work permit, then the only cases where this can be done would be the exemptions. So in cases where this would not apply would be family members of students who can work off campus or who are transitioning to their postgraduate work permit at the moment. Their work permit has to be valid for 6 months from the date that you submit the application for the spouse or dependent child's permit. So if you go ahead and submit your application, but the main applicant, your spouse's work permit is expiring in 5 months, then you won't be eligible. They have to be employed in a tier level 4 or 5 occupation for this specific category. And they have to be living or plan to be living and working in Canada while the spouse or dependent children are there as well. Now, the one other issue that I keep seeing people not reading thoroughly enough or ignoring is if the main applicant has a work permit that was issued based on a labor market impact assessment. The category of the labor market impact assessment really matters here. So in certain situations, depending on the LMIA type, even if it's a level 4 or 5 occupation and you meet all of the other requirements, you still may not be eligible for that spousal or dependent open work permit. Now, these situations or the types of LMIAs that are not included in all of this are the low wage stream, the seasonal agriculture worker stream, the agricultural stream. Now, if you're not sure which one your spouse qualified under, you just need to look at the copy of their labor market impact assessment, and it would be there near the top of typically page 3, so the page that includes their salary, their job title, and their NOC code. It should be on there for you. So if you don't meet all of the requirements and you try to apply for an open work permit, then it will be refused. So you have to make sure, number one, that the main applicant, the main work permit holder, meets all of the relevant criteria. And then you as the spouse or dependent child need to make sure that you meet your own requirements as well. And of course, this only went into effect in January of this year. So this is eligible and available for people submitting their applications after January 30th, 2023. And if you're not sure if you qualify or if you've applied and it was refused and you believe that it was refused incorrectly, then you can always book a consultation with one of our regulated Canadian immigration consultants who can go through your application with you or the background of your family to see if you're eligible or not. And also for dependent children, remember, if they're applying for that work permit, they have to make sure that they are of legal age to work in the province that you are living in. If they're too young, then they might not get that work permit because they're not yet legal to work in Canada. So thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest Canadian immigration news and updates.